Welcome back, dear doctors, in Anatomy Student Zone with another exciting topic of femoral triangle with Dr. Sayyida Sara. This triangular region that is located in upper thigh is not just a diagram in your anatomy books. It's where the anatomy meets the real world of medical diagnostic and intervention. Today we will delve into its boundaries, contents and a clinical significance. I will try my level best to give you with the foundation knowledge that will help you on a clinical side. So I will recommend you to go through a muscles of anterior triangle and a femoral sheath before covering this topic, as without having knowledge of muscle of anterior thigh and the content of femoral triangle, you are unable to grasp the femoral triangle because it's having great clinical significance. So in terms of the femoral pulse, vascular access, it's also having a great clinical importance in terms of a cardiac procedures as well. So first I will cover its anatomical location. So you can observe this triangular region that is located bilaterally in the upper and medial part of thigh. So femoral triangle provides a passage for the main blood vessel that are passing from the pelvis and the lower limb, and also the main and the large nerve which are supplying the thigh. The anterior view of thigh is shown in this image, and focus part is upper part and the medial aspect of thigh. So we can observe a wedge shape or a triangular shape depression, as you can see, and this depression is located between the muscles of the thigh, and this depression is below the inguinal ligament. So these are important points, that it is below the inguinal ligament and this depression is between the muscles of the thigh. So as I already told you, this is depression between the muscles of thigh. Then of course it's quite obvious its floor is going to be formed by the muscles. Before I tell you the name of muscle which are going to form this triangle and all the other detail, make clear the medial and the lateral side of this image. So this is medial side of thigh and this is the lateral side of thigh. So muscle that form the floor of the femoral triangle, these are iliopsoas, which is located laterally, as we can see here. And we know medial to the iliopsoas is pectineus muscle. So pectineus forms its floor medially and iliopsoas is going to form its floor laterally. So after covering its floor, now we will cover the boundaries of this triangle. So superiorly, or the base of the femoral triangle, that the same thing. Some book have mentioned base, while some book have used the term superior part. So it is formed by the inguinal ligament, as we can see here. And we know the inguinal ligament is thickened inferior margin of external oblique epineurosis, and external oblique is muscle of your abdomen. So this is adductor longus muscle and this is the lateral border. So this one is its medial border. So this medial border of adductor longus muscle forms the medial border of femoral triangle. So lateral border of this triangle is formed by the medial border of sartorius muscle, as we can see here. So we can easily remember this, that adductor longus and the sartorius medial borders are forming the medial and the lateral boundaries of the femoral triangle. So both muscle medial borders are involved in forming the medial and the lateral boundaries. The apex of the femoral triangle is where the medial and the lateral border of femoral triangle, they are crossing. So this is pointed out here. So you can see, you can understand the roof in a manner if I am going to place a tissue paper on this triangular area and I will cover this triangle. So the roof of the femoral triangle is formed by the fascia lata, and you know this is a deep fascia of the thigh. So superficial to fascia lata we are having subcutaneous tissue, and the most superficially we are having skin. So all these structure, if I am going back in a reverse manner, skin, subcutaneous tissue and the deep fascia, they are going to form the roof of this femoral triangle. Again, for content, first identify the lateral and the medial side. So this is lateral side, this is medial side. So content of the femoral triangle from lateral to medial are femoral nerve and its terminal branches. And we know femoral nerve is not enclosed in femoral sheath. We have already covered this in previous lecture as well. So the content of femoral sheath are femoral artery, femoral vein and deep inguinal lymph node, and all these contents are also going to form the contents of the femoral triangle as well. So I'm going to repeat that again. From lateral to medial, the contents of the femoral triangle are femoral nerve, femoral artery and its branches, femoral vein and its proximal tributaries, which includes the great saphenous vein and the profunda femoris vein, deep inguinal lymph node and its lymphatic vessels. So we already know and covered in a femoral sheath that the lymph node are located in the most medial most compartment of the femoral sheath, and lymphatic, which are included in the medial most compartment of the femoral sheath, we are going to name it as an femoral canal. So it's not compulsory. You always have to remember the content from a lateral to medial. You can also observe, or you can also revise this content, or also explain in an exam in a sequence from medial to lateral as well. And medial to lateral, you know, inguinal lymph node, then vein, artery, and lateral most is femoral nerve. If I summarize, I will say this depression is located between the inguinal ligament, medial border of sartorius, and a medial border of adductor longus muscle. Besides this, you can also identify femoral nerve, lateral most, femoral vein is medial to artery, and the femoral artery is central one. So now I will cover the clinicals which are related to the femoral triangle. We know this triangle contains the femoral vessel, which are femoral artery and a vein. So femoral triangle is a popular site for a vascular assess. And a vascular assess, we can also assess artery, we can also assess vein as well. So on a clinical side, femoral triangle is used for the vascular catheterization. So in this catheterization can be a number of procedures, this can be used, and these procedures can be interventional or a corrective procedures. So we can assess lower limb, abdomen, or even thorax through this catheterization. So to perform this, it's very important for all of you to know how to palpate femoral artery in femoral triangle. So we know the femoral artery in a region of femoral triangle is located just inferior to inguinal ligament. So exact point where we can feel its pulsation is midway between pubic symphysis and the anterior superior iliac spine. And this point, that is midpoint between the pubic symphysis and the anterior superior iliac spine, this point is known as mid-inguinal point. So this is very important in order to locate the femoral artery. Another important point is we had already seen that the femoral artery is located superficially within the femoral triangle. So we can assess this artery easily because of its superficial anatomical location, and all these anatomical points that I have told you makes the femoral artery suitable for a range of clinical procedures, and one such procedure is coronary angiography. In coronary angiography, this is a procedure where we are going to use a special dye or a contrast media, and the x-rays are used. And by means of this, we can see how blood flows through the arteries in your heart. So in this procedure, again, femoral triangle is very important. First, we have to feel the femoral pulse. At this point, already I told you at which point we are going to feel the femoral pulse. So after that, catheterization of femoral artery is done with a thin, long wire, and this tube is navigated up the external iliac artery, common iliac artery, aorta, and into a coronary vessels. So a radiopaque dye is going to be used. This dye is injected into a coronary vessels, and the wall thickening or the blockage can be visualized by means of x-rays. So in this way, we can gain access to an arch of aorta via femoral triangle. You should remember that we can also use this approach to obtain access to ascending aorta for the aortic valve replacement in a cardiac surgeries as well. So besides the catheterization of a femoral artery, we can also use a femoral vein. We can use femoral vein to gain access to right side of a heart through an inferior vena cava. We can use this approach to repair patent foramen ovale, congenital heart defects which are involving the embryological openings between the right and the left atria. So on a clinical side, we are doing an arterial blood sampling as well. So purpose of this blood collection is to determine arterial blood gas level. So the blood is collected from an artery. We can use radial artery, brachial artery, dorsalis pedis artery because we are covering the femoral triangle. So we can also use femoral artery as well for this blood collection procedures. So if we are using the femoral artery, first we have to palpate it, and again point you know how we are going to palpate. So the sample is taken and that sample is sent for the arterial blood gas analysis. So that's why the content of the femoral triangle are very important, because on a clinical side, on a multiple points, we are going to use it. So dear friend, thank you for joining me on this journey of the femoral triangle, from its boundaries to its vital content and the clinical importance and a medical practice. So until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep striving to make a difference in the life of those who serve. So goodbye for now, and may your journey in the medicine be full of knowledge I have shared today. Thank you so much. Keep watching, keep liking, and keep subscribing this channel.